Okay, I want to do another quick fire video that talks a little bit about counterparty gas wars, or that's the terminology used from an ETH side, but just why it's important to look at your transaction fees when you're trying to get something out of a dispenser that is going to be in high demand. So this morning there was this Kevin trash art card that was coming out, and I was pretty stoked to pick one up. Um, what I was doing is I actually was looking at the mempool and X chain and trying to see when the dispenser would be ready so that I'd make sure that I'd be able to jump in. The problem that I didn't take into effect, because I'm still relatively new to this space, is that I had set my transaction fee basically to the high level, but that was prior to there being a demand on the server, on the blockchain. So again, this is a card. If we go to the asset, you can see that there's dispensers. Again, we're familiar with this stuff. At the time, there was only the one dispenser. So I'll click on that. You can see the price was 0.0069. In this case, again, it's very simple. Just send this in. What ended up happening is it came under quite a bit of load um, for this because there was high demand for the card. And I happen to know that this is my transaction here, which was one of the last to get filled. I was trying to grab 3 of them because I've been burned on a few and wanted to have some to share to some other people. You can see down at the bottom, this transaction was actually sent after me for 14, but was one of the first. And the reason for that is basically the transaction fee that's set. So I'm going to use free wallet, but any of them you'll be able to see this. So we know how a dispenser works. You're going to right click and you're going to say send BTC2, put in a destination, the amount that you want to send in, and then this is the transaction fee, which basically mimics what gas would be on Ethereum. At this point here, there's some default settings in the desktop view. In whatever wallet you're using, you'll see something. There's high, medium, and low. And these are basically similar to what MetaMask would put. The problem with free wallet is that you can see down at the bottom here, it's pulling it like 3 minutes ago. It may be pulling a value that isn't accurate based on the demand on the blockchain. So what you would want to do, or what I'll be doing moving forward, is you want to go back. You want to go to, in this case here, mempool.space, and I'll put a link in this, but this is basically kind of giving an estimate of what the actual transactions for high priority, medium priority, and low priority. In more of a real time, you can see blocks that have already been done and ones that are going to be coming in. So to give you a better sense of how much you should put in, just going back to that dispenser, I'm going to click on the Kevin here with the 14s. You click view, I look at the transaction hash. This will actually look at the transaction on the blockchain. You can see the transaction fees here were 134, which is obviously quite high, but he got through right away. If I then go back to my transaction here, which was one of the first to go through, to get to the blockchain but had a low fee, you can see that I only had 27, because at that time what was considered high was 27. What it ended up causing, if I go back again, so you can actually see that I ended up being in like block 72599. I'll put this to 100. It just takes a second for it to load. If it loads. If I put this to 100, you can see that he was in 725,996. So he was able to get ahead of me based on setting that transaction fee. So again, just something to consider. Mempool.space will give you a reading of what the gas would be, and the way that you would set that would be under this fee. So in this point here, I can go in and I can customize this to say that I want this to be at 8. You can see it went up to like 3.78, or I could send it to be 9, get up to 420. So really short video just to show you that the fees that you set are important, especially on the dispenser under high demand. The money is not going to be refunded. So similar to Ethereum, you could lose it. And you want to make sure that you bump this up a little bit higher than what a high priority is to maximize your chance of getting from the dispenser under heavy load.